Thursday. You know what that means, Dan? I see you head bobbing. You like this song, don't you? You love this segment.
I am only coming around on some of the music. That's all I'm coming around with. The segments leave a lot to be desired.
But we win. Often. And if we lose, it's just that third leg or something like that. But
is that mathematically accurate, what you just said, or is it just gibberish?
We
win often. And we often lose by a smidge? That's
yes,
what
if we
alleging?
lose, it's a smidge. And look, an L's an L when it comes to a parlay, but, just take that for what it's worth.
Look it up.
I could be giving you, if not just a parlay winner on Thursday Thunder, I could be giving you 3 individual winners. You never know.
Chris Long the other day impressed me because he took the Denver Broncos on the money line at Buffalo. He took the under, which came in, and in the 3-leg parlay, he took Russell Wilson over 1.5 touchdown passes. That's a parlay. Are you going to do better than that?
We'll find out because it's a pretty big Thursday nighter after navigating the sewage of Bears, Panthers, and whatnot. We got a great one tonight. You know who's playing?
The Bengals and the Ravens.
Those are Titans inside the AFC North. The Titans are in the AFC South. I shouldn't have used that word. Anyways, Juju Gotti. What is the first leg of today's Thursday Thunder?
Oh, we are back, baby. We are going first leg. Tyler Jeffrey Boyd for 4.5 catches from the Joseph Burrow tonight.
Amazing. T. Higgins is out for this game, so we assume that Tyler Boyd's going to pick up some of the production. By the way, Thursday Thunder is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code Dan when you sign up on the app for a limited time offer for new customers. Leg number 2, Juju.
Oh, leg number 2. We are going to go for the person who was knighted by Joseph Burrow last Sunday. We're going to go with Tanner Hudson for 2.5 catches tonight. You got to dig it.
For those of you who are not watching on YouTube, Juju is using an Excalibur sword that he is banging against his shoulders.
He's wielding the sword right next to me, and he's doing it quite skillfully.
The sword is bigger than you.
Very interesting, because mostly it's my people that are associated with carrying a battle axe. But he's got the sword, and it fits. I think it fits, Juju.
Skull! But we're not talking about the Vikings. And the third and most important leg, we are going to go with a moonwalker, with a great dancer, with a tattooed man. He goes by the name of OBJ, a.k.a. Odell Beckham Jr. 2.5 catches from the brother from Lamar Jackson.
All right, so Odell has been a fine second or third receiver for them. How do you feel about that parlay, Mike?
I love it, Dan, because when we win big. And if we lose, it's just by a smidge.
That is not
That
helpful.
is how we roll on Thursday Thunder. One thing you will never see this show do is go 0 for 3 on a parlay until we actually do.
Never. Not this week, sir.
Hasn't happened this season. Has it?
I pulled Excalibur for this one.
It is a...
I like this character.
It is a big sword. Yes, it's a strange character. Can I just put the sword next to Brad and see which is taller there? Because it feels like the sword, when he feels threatened by the sword, it feels like that sword is so large that it is actually larger than Brad.
I feel like this sword is what they hold next to me to determine if I can get on the roller coaster or not.
Are you... Oh, he is taller. He is slightly taller than the sword.
I can ride the ride!
Why did I feel like clapping after seeing that?
Anytime a dwarf can be taller than anything, it's a big accomplishment. We don't get a lot, but we can get that.
Do you indeed have embarrassing moments with the child at the roller coaster? Because
can I climb the chair first?
Yes, because we'll wait for you. I'll wait for you to get back on the chair. Yes. I am curious, though, because that must happen, correct? If we're following the rules at the amusement park, there are times that Brad the dad is showing up at an amusement park and is not allowed to ride the ride if there are sticklers for the rules,
yes,
correct?
And then the 7-year-old that doesn't know the value of life gets right on. I've lived. I deserve it. I've sold out shows. I should be able to ride a damn roller coaster. And then when I tried to explain to the 17-year-old that's got a summer job the simple laws of physics, that my torso is average size, therefore the measurements do not apply to me because I'm going to fit inside the harness, be just fine. It's just that my arms and legs aren't going to wave in the wind like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man quite as much.
And
That's it.
the argument doesn't win for you. You just still get sent away by somebody, some carnival worker who's saying you're a liability issue, and they don't want to take on the liability.
Yes, I just get, well, the rule book says, or like I should probably do the Simpsons character voice. Well, the rule book says it's gotta be over 5'2", and you're not. Maybe drink some milk or something. I don't know.
I'd like to talk to the group. I'm going to talk to Amin about it when he gets back here, but I do want to spend a little bit of time on somebody that I believe to be a unique athlete for our times in Draymond Green. Nobody has quite that resume. All of it. Just fame for your mouth. A piece that's super important, but it's hard to quantify the thing that he does. And one of the things that I don't think we covered enough yesterday, and laughing at just the absurdity of Rudy Gobert in a sleeper hold, is I had forgotten that these two human beings pride themselves on a part of the game that they think, better than anybody. And there is some competition there just between them on who's actually the better defender. I identify as somebody who is great at this, so they don't like each other from there either. But I was confused by Gobert getting fined $25,000 for, I think, just being French. Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Was Rudy Gobert fined $25,000 just for being French? What did he do? $25,000.
He started COVID.
I know that a lot
How many times does this need to be explained to you? He ruined everybody's lives.
But
Do we need to get Sedano on for you to?
What did he do yesterday?
He started COVID. And what he did yesterday was remain being the guy that started COVID and stopped sports.
But why don't the players like him?
Because he started COVID.
Let's listen to Patrick Beverley here. Let's listen to this sound in a second of Patrick Beverley talking about why it is that people don't like Rudy Gobert. You can say what you guys are saying, but I'm asking the question sincerely. $25,000 hurts, even if it's a tax exemption. $25,000 is a substantive fine. Rudy Gobert, the greatest punishment Gobert suffered is that the internet is forever, and we will not forget the video of a 7-footer getting dragged off like a toddler in a sleeper hold.
Well, I wasn't aware that we'd just forget the pandemic. It happened. It ruined our lives for at least 3 years. We're still dealing with it. That's not something you just forget.
Something I won't forget, though, is the league and people coming to the defense of Draymond Green simply because they wanted Rudy Gobert embarrassed. So let's listen to Patrick Beverley and how it is that he was enjoying all of this.
Dude, I seen Draymond choke today. Cat bogus as hell.
What?
No.
Cat's
no.
bogus?
Yeah, he bogus, man. Cat bogus, man. Straight up. And Ant was back there, too. And Draymond knew, too. Don't nobody like Rudy anyway. That was a perfect moment to do it. Like, that we choke Rudy ass.
And he did not let go.
No, a person choke you like that, don't let go. That's built up. But then I see Cat make a mean mug face like, "Urgh," but then you ain't doing it. Choke Draymond back. So now, if I'm Draymond, I choke they center, and they homies didn't do nothing. If we play y'all in the playoffs, no, Cat, I ain't worried about you. You didn't even help your homie.
So how can he rectify this?
Can't. So what? And you can't even try to get your get back. So what? The whole world I'm saying.
Text Cat.
He in the game.
Oh, he's still playing? He didn't get...
He didn't do Why would he get booed? He didn't do shit. Cat, nah, fuck that. I taught you better than that.
It would have been funny if the Timberwolves just started choking Rudy Gobert as well.
They just all turn into Homer Simpson and just...
That seems more than COVID. Why don't... I need to know why people don't like Rudy Gobert. Because, you can tell right there, Pat Bev's yeah, no one likes him. That can't just be over COVID.
I think playing for the Jazz didn't do him no good deeds either, because that's a terrible franchise.
Patrick Beverley is speaking as a former teammate of all of those guys on the Timberwolves. He's talking about Karl Anthony Towns there, saying that Draymond comes in and does that, which I think I'm correct in saying. We have not seen a 7-footer dragged around by the head before, correct?
Very impressive that he was able to get the choke.
Right. Legal, too. It was legal.
Yeah.
You say very impressive, but I would say in the game that we play in sports of instead of giving credit, let's find blame, I would say it's impressive that Rudy, a 7-footer, got dragged that way. Do you realize how submissive you've got to be at that size? How much you've got to fold into being someone who appears sleepy before the sleeper hold has taken effect, because he was trying to show everybody looking, don't find me for this. I am not guilty of any bad behavior, and yet still he gets $25,000 and the shame of being dragged as a 7-footer.
You know the French in surrendering.
Get out of here, Zagagi.
Draymond Green, you would agree, has a resume like
You know them for their resilience, do you?
They are good at surrender. You know what? You're right. Rudy Gobert, on behalf of his people, was just redundant in his surrendering in the face of a threat. This is the reputation that the French have. Usually, though, I think of the 7-foot soldier as someone who doesn't get dragged off by the head.
Not a good look with the new Napoleon movie coming out. Nope. All right.
Penalty box.
Penalty box.
Dang you, improv.
All right. You know what? Dang you, improv this weekend. That's all right. I'll take that L. I'll see you
That's
guys
a
later.
Chris Cody move of say the joke and the no.
No. All right.
How's this going?
Stealing my lane.
Lucy, nothing?
Thought it was good. Famous French general attacking. Nope. All right. 2 minutes. See you guys later. Ashamed of myself.
Where's your special? Veeps?
Veeps. Something that
What is Veeps?
you haven't heard of.
You can check out the very unfunny BradWilliamsComedy.com
Would
for all
somebody-
things Brad Williams, including details on his new special Starfish, which sounds awful, out December 21st on Veeps. Back to you, Beast.
Juju, do me the favor, please, if you don't mind, of dragging Brad Williams to the penalty box by his head.
No.
Juju is going to update some polls for us here for the week in just a second. But before we do this, Lucy, your reports from the field are getting better and better. They're also draining you more and more. You had 3 days off this week, and now you're flying right back out, visiting us briefly here. Where are you headed next?
Clemson, South Carolina. We got denied from everywhere else, but we're still very excited for this one. Very excited.
Has Skipper not been able to exert any clout on any of these buffoon commissioners in order to get us on the field somewhere?
Probably not helping.
Commissioner.
We haven't had much luck. We're 0 for 3. I don't know how much Skipper has called. I know he called for Alabama and it didn't work. We tried to get Tennessee. It didn't work.
I do believe Lucy should be able to go to this game.
But we're all doing our best, and we're not mad at them for denying us. We just hope they give us the opportunity, because the University of Washington was very happy to help us, and they treated me like a little celebrity. It was so cool because they drove me around in the golf cart, and they loved it.
I'll say
so
it.
just think about that, Tennessee.
Okay,
We are the Dan Le Batard Show.
you're just doing Foghorn Leghorn. And that's all you're doing. With the asset.
I do declare that she should go to this game.
I am confused how it is that John Skipper still can't get my name right.
Le Batard?
Le Batard. And Luis in the video.
He has a
Chris
little...
Cote. the emphasis on the syllable.
He's from the same area as me. Nobody talks like that. Nobody talks like that.
I have a theory that he's actually just from Queens, and it's all a put on. The Southern gentleman.
Are we sending you to a crappy football game? I mean, Clemson's what, 5-4, 6-4?
I will say this is not the best weekend.
She's
for
being very
football.
nice. She's like, we tried every other game. This is the only one we
I
got.
love you being protective of football's feelings.
No, well, I'm being protective of. We would like to get invited back places.
Well, Clemson will be a zoo atmosphere. Like, they've developed. That fan base suffered for a long time and then got all the Georgia, Alabama glory for like 5 or 6 years, and it'll be a super fun, festive, drunk atmosphere.
You got to run
I'm
down that
super
hill.
Excited. I want to run down the hill. I don't think they just let you do it. But most of there weren't that many good games this weekend. Tennessee said no, and then most of the other good games were on the West Coast. And I flew back from Seattle on Tuesday, so I really didn't want to go Seattle, Miami, back to like Oregon. So we just decided Clemson this week. Next week is rivalry week, so we're going to try to go to a couple games. Fingers
Wow.
crossed.
Yeah, there's a big one on Friday, the Civil War.
Yeah, we hope to go to 2 games if possible. We'll see how that goes because credentials have been an issue, but we're trying our very best. And let me just say, if you're an athletic director listening to this, Washington loved our video. They loved it so much, as did Florida, as did Oklahoma State. So that could be you. That could be you.
How about the city of Seattle? Do you have any Seattle observations for us?
Well, I loved it when I first got there. I was like, this is so beautiful. Usually when I go to a new city, except for like when I go to Oklahoma, no offense, I get off the plane and I'm like, I could see myself here. I could absolutely live here. And Seattle was so beautiful and I loved it. And so we went to the Washington game on Saturday. It was super fun, sailgating. It was a great atmosphere. And we decided to go to the Seahawks game the next day. So we're like, cool, we'll double up on content. Now you're maybe you're like, Lucy, we haven't seen the Seahawks video. So we went there. We got there about 2 hours before the game, and we walked around, and we were like, okay, let's just get some fan interviews. Like, we didn't have credentials, and we could not get anyone to talk to us. It was like just back to back to back of like, hey, I love your outfit. Would you want to do this video with me? No, thank you. And it was like, all right, well, we've talked to 10 people. No one is saying yes. I don't know what to do here. And normally it's pretty easy. People see a microphone, they want to talk to you. They did not want to talk to me in Seattle.
They weren't drunk.
They weren't, no. And like even a few people were like, no, I am drunk, so I don't want to talk on camera. And I was like, I think that would make you better on camera. And they were like, no. And one of the people who did it, his face was completely painted. I said, you cannot paint your face like that and be a grown man and then be like, no, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be on camera. That's not allowed.
Just laying low today.
Like what? And so we ended up like posting a video about it, and a lot of people responded that it's called the Seattle Freeze. So I looked that up. Apparently, people in Seattle are just not very friendly. They're polite, but they're not very friendly, and I would say that was accurate. So then I didn't really want to live there anymore.
How were the grunge bars?
I did. So I had Monday, like we flew back Monday night, so I spent Monday like doing my little Seattle touristy stuff. Went to the Space Needle. That was cool.
You catch a fish?
I didn't catch a fish, but I did go to the market. I went to the Museum of Pop Culture and I saw the Nirvana like exhibit, which was really cool. And then for dinner, it was kind of morbid, but I went to the place that Kurt Cobain was last seen alive in public. But the vibes were actually pretty good.
Yeah, Mike Ryan did the same thing with the Viper Room in L.A. Let me just wander around the whiff of the haunted corpse of River Phoenix.
It was lovely. I had a good time, and the vibes were high, and you would never have known
was
that
lovely.
that was the last place Kurt Cobain was seen alive, and that's where I got your poem right outside of there.
Oh, nice.
Brad, what is your experience with the city of Seattle? Is the Seattle Freeze a real thing, polite but unfriendly?
The Seattle Freeze sounds like a great name for like an indoor soccer team, by the way.
So good, yeah.
That's pretty solid, and they should really look into that. But I've had great times in Seattle. I played the Neptune Theater there last year. The fans were great. I was there at the same time as the Taylor Swift concert. Did not go to the Taylor Swift concert, but the Swifties definitely took over the city. And there is a lot, though, of human feces on the sidewalk. So you do have to deal with that.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Put it on the
miss that.
poll, please, at Le Batard Show. More human feces on the sidewalk, Seattle or Los Angeles? And also,
We got that covered.
Also put on the poll at Le Batard Show, is the unfriendliness of Seattle people, is that a real thing? You mentioned the Kelces before we get to the poll, or you mentioned Taylor Swift, and I did word association with the Kelces. They've got a #1 hit song now. What is the information you guys can give me on this? Because I just learned about this today, that the Kelces have a song. We've discussed that songs are now just made famous on TikTok. You don't need record companies. You don't need radio stations. You don't need podcasts. You just need TikToks.
Yeah, so from what I know about this, when I go on the road, I love to watch the local news, and they were talking about it on there. So the local news channel in Seattle told me all about it. They have just like a regular Christmas song that like normally the Eagles will record one anyway, so they just did one with which was just Jason and Travis. I listened to a little bit. It was a Christmas song recorded by 2 football players.
This is starting to feel a little icky.
That's what it was.
This is starting to feel a little icky because I just feel like they're like I saw a clip of the 2 on their podcast just talking about Argentina and being at dinner with Taylor's dad, and and then the song, you could tell that they're just like, oh, music, Taylor's audience. It's starting to feel like it was adorable a couple weeks ago, but now they're talking about it in detail on their podcast, and that's getting like millions of views. and now they're. I don't know. It's just starting.
Sounds
to
like you're
feel-
getting tired of love, Chris Cody.
It's just
you're just not a believer.
It feels like I'm not saying they aren't genuinely in a relationship, but it feels like
Sounds like
the
you hate
Kelces
Taylor Swift.
are-
That's what he's saying.
They're trying to ride the wave.
Just like it.
And I feel like that. I'm trying to protect Travis because Taylor's going to see this stuff and be like, "Wow, a song? Your podcast is shot up in chart. Do you actually care about me, or is this like I don't know? No one else agrees with me. It's just starting to feel
The
a little.
commercialization of love leaves you.
I don't know how. As you can hear me, I don't really know how I feel about it, but it just something's a little off. A couple weeks ago, I was all in on this, and I'm starting to feel a little icky.
Well, you also are starting to sound like Bryce Young, stammering through the.
I think
ick.
mine was more well said than that.
I'm
but
barely, not very.
I'm just a guy who doesn't know how he feels, Dan.
You don't feel it on the field. It's not it's not something that affects.
I agree.
It doesn't affect my play. That's not a reason. I have to be better because of me. It's not some outstanding circumstance. I have to be better. I have to push myself. I have to be better. There's no excuse. There's no external. In the game, you don't think about that. That's not something that's going through your mind.
You guys hear stammering there? I hear a good teammate. I see a guy that doesn't want to throw his offensive lineman under the bus, and he's just like, they're terrible, but I don't want to say that, so I'm just going to go, I got to be better.
That is better as an artistic representation of his rookie season than his stat line. Let's update the polls from this week, please.
Oh, Dan, the polls are brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Epic razors, epically affordable. Find them in stores or online.
Yes, sir. And Washington loved the video from Lucy. I love the video from Lucy as well. I feel like she don't get enough flowers for her just contributions. Like, thank you so much, Lucy. We love you everywhere.
Can we get her
No problem.
actual flowers? Can someone go outside and give her? I'm tired of that expression around here. I'd like to actually give her flowers.
I do believe I will
On
work
it.
on that.
She deserves it. She deserves it. I do declare.
Yeah.
Poll number 1.
Yeah.
Does Al Michaels dislike Herbie? 74% of the audience says, hell yes, he hates that Joker.
Yeah.
Poll number 2, should Victor Wembanyama get in the gym and practice chest passes for a month straight? 84% of the audience says, yes, practice those chest passes, you tall brother, you. Poll number 3, do you, oh my goodness, we got Lucy some
Got
flowers. She
Lucy some
deserves them.
actual flowers.
Brad
from-
Williams, you are immense.
She's got an expense account.
Onions.
She went to Seattle and just told me that she spent a bunch of money
One
doing
of the few
things,
talents my people have is just randomly finding flowers.
but it didn't come back with any content from the
Mushrooms.
Seahawks game.
No,
We
she
have
did.
it. There just wasn't much going on. Not our fault. I did have us start recording the nose, though.
You know what else she produced? She produced a 4-letter word to interact with us on Twitter for about 30 minutes before they deleted the tweet because they wanted some of Lucy's content. They said, hey, this content is so good, we want it. And they said, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Back to the polls.
Yeah.
Do you have trouble with resisting gas station mariquitas?
Mariquita.
Mariquitas.
Yeah.
73% of the audience says no, that's a damn problem.
Oh, really?
Excuse me, can I
I'm
have a side
alone
order?
and being tempted all the time by the banana chips at the gas station.
Literally, I had to look them up when you said them. Is the gas station food in the South better than the gas station food in the North? This is
big.
Oh my God.
This is a big one.
80% of the audience says the South does it better.
Hey, oh.
Amen. Who is that in my ear?
Hey,
Ooh.
oh.
Joe Rose.
Hey, oh.
The big dog.
Joe Rose is a freaky son of a gun. Babe, that's what it is. It's complimentary football, babe. 80% of the audience says yes, babe. It is.
Yeah.
Should Max Crosby have 3 X's in his first name?
A thick.
A thick yes from the audience. 93% of the audience says yes, he should.
A thick.
Tommy Tommy DeVito, you want to be a good quarterback in this league? You got to make your own damn bed. 87% of the audience says yes, you should have to, Tommy. Come on, brother. Right, you're getting free rent. Make up your bed. Damn, bro.
Yeah.
You're the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Even if they are black, are they still blue jeans?
Yeah.
Scares you.
Yeah.
54% of the audience says yes,
Yeah.
they're still blue
There is
jeans.
not-
Greg Cody. Do you ever go over $1 when tipping the valet? You cheap sons of a guns. 24% of you. 76% of the audience says yes, they go over $1. Greg Cody, you are a cheap joker, and we love you.
There is nothing like a thick.
There is nothing like a curse word. Is it cuss or is it curse, though? How do you pronounce it? 54% of the audience says cuss with a USS.
Excuse me, can I have a side order of?
You can. Pause. When you do word association, let me start that over. I speak like a dang
Onions.
food. When you do word association, do you connect Rudy Gobert with COVID?
Mushrooms.
80% of the audience feels like Jorge Sedano, Hollywood. They say yes, he is the starter and the breeder of it. Do you love or hate street poets?
It's good.
85% of the audience says yes, they hate them. And the last poll, are people more authentic or less authentic versions of themselves online?
It's good.
73% of the audience says yes, they are least authentic online.
Yeah.
Fake as hell. Those are the polls brought to you by Hooked on Juju Phonics. And thank you guys for listening to me stammer like Bryce Young.
That was a struggle, a bit of a struggle. We've had a stammering problem today. That is Joe Rose, former Dolphins tight end, thinking about blue cheese and getting sensually, mouth-wateringly aroused about chicken wings.
Hey, you want some pasta and seafood dishes with fresh fish? It's good. So good. Yeah. There is nothing like a thick.